Get Your Ex Back, the only guide you will ever need to get your ex back fast. Written by Chelsea Baker, narrated by Sangeeta Chauhan. Introduction. If you're wondering how to get back with your ex, this is the book for you. In this book, I collected the most useful, most interesting, and most effective information from straight-to-the-point sources. These tips are specific and targeted, not just something you would say in a general sense. Some of these chapters may not apply to you, like the chapter about getting your ex-husband back if you have never been married. But then another chapter is especially for you. So between each chapter, learn from the helpful tricks and advice these people give, and see which of those you can apply to your own situation. Getting your ex back is like playing a game of balance between trust, putting your best self out there, and benefiting from the positive in life. Understand that it can take time, but that if you know how to do it, it will definitely increase your chances of succeeding. So don't wait, and continue in the first chapter. Chapter 1. Does your ex want you back? Have you ever wanted to get back together with your ex, but you find yourself unsure as to whether your ex is feeling the same way or not? If you answered yes to this question, then this article can definitely give you the information that you need in order to help you determine if your ex wants to get back together with you or not. Here are a couple of things that you could watch out for. Maintains constant contact. If you can find your ex trying to call you constantly, or if he always tries to find ways to see you or talk to you, then that is a sure sign that your ex may want to work things out with you and get back together. Keep close attention to the frequency of these attempts. The more frequent these attempts are, the higher the probability that your ex is considering rekindling the fire in your relationship. Just bear in mind that any person who doesn't wish to be forgotten will try to avoid creating any distance between their person and the person that they have feelings for. Interest in your social life. When your ex asks you about your dating status, that is a clear indication of interest still in you. Whenever your ex wants to get information about who you are dating, or if you are dating, he may just be asking just to see where he stands in your social life. If your ex finds out that you are dating, you may notice some changes in his attitude and the actions that he takes, specifically because he fears that he may lose you to some other guy if you continue to date. Talks about the past. When you and your ex are indulging each other with some friendly chatter, try to notice if your ex keeps bringing up topics about your past relationship, or if your ex constantly utters the phrase, "Do you remember that time in our relationship?" If you answer to any of these, then there is a big possibility that your ex is still very much into you and wants to get back together with you. Your ex may be talking about your past like this in hopes that you will reminisce with him and remember all the good memories that you had with each other, as well as offer him hints of interest with the whole getting back together discussion, basing on your reaction on the course of your talk. Gets jealous easily. Since you and your ex are broken up, you may be able to use this opportunity to test your ex's interest by seeing his reaction whenever he sees you on a date with another person most of the time. If your ex reacts in a jealous way, then he definitely still has feelings for you. Using this technique, however, requires a lot of care when used, since this can really backfire on you and create more problems, instead of just merely offering you an insight on your ex's interest with getting back together. These 4 signs can really help you tell if your ex still has getting back together with you in his mind or not. Chapter 2. Common mistakes. Breaking up and getting back together is a pretty common event with most couples that I know, but no matter how many times people try to get back together with their exes, most of them still continue to commit the same mistakes over and over again. Committing these mistakes is usually the reason as to why some couples do not end up getting back together, and ultimately sever themselves from one another. You can really reduce the risks of destroying your chances of getting back together with your ex by avoiding the common mistakes that most people make. Here are a couple of things that you should try to avoid. Don't beg. Begging your ex to get back together with you will only make stern his choice to not get back together with you. And finally get over your breakup and move on, as this will make you appear very needy. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with a very needy person, as this can lead to a lot of problems later on. You will lose face when you beg someone to get back together with you. You not only lose your ex, but you also lose some respect that people have for you by begging. So don't. Don't let your pride take over. Getting back together with your ex can prove challenging if neither of you is willing to give in and swallow your pride. In order for things to work between you and your ex, one of you needs to take the higher road, and if need be, avoid letting your ego get the best of you. No one can deal with a person who refuses to compromise and insists on doing things and going about things his own way. Once one of you eats some humble pie, the other person usually follows. Jealousy equals more drama. One of the more common but flawed Hollywood remedy for a breakup is to make the other person, your ex, jealous by making your ex see that you are happy with another person. Contrary to popular belief, doing this will not make your ex realize that you both should get back together. Instead, this will only make your ex feel animosity towards you or towards what you are doing. This act is intentional, and chances are your ex will figure out that you are doing this on purpose to make him jealous. Once this happens, you can kiss your chances of getting back together goodbye. Avoid confrontation. Fighting with your ex is not the best way to get him or her to get back together with you. A breakup can be painful to both parties. Just make sure that when you both decide to talk about trying to work things out and get back together, avoid becoming confrontational, especially if you are bent on getting an apology from your ex for the possible mistakes that he may have done leading to the breakup. Keep in mind that you are there to get back together, not play the blaming game. Learn to understand about your problems in a non-hostile way to avoid any miscommunication and misunderstanding. These are just some of the common mistakes that you can avoid in order to ensure that you don't decrease your chances of getting back together with your ex. Chapter 3. Do's and Don'ts. There are a couple of things that you need to know and understand if you want to make sure that your getting back together with your ex is a smooth and successful one. Doing what you need to do and avoiding the things that you need to avoid doing will help ensure that. Here are a couple of things that you can use to help your getting back together process. Do give your ex enough time. Getting back together from a breakup takes time, so make sure that you give your ex, as well as yourself, enough time to cope with the breakup. Making the move to get back together right after a breakup is not advisable, especially since the breakup is still fresh on both your minds, and you may still have some issues that you both need to resolve before you can hope to get back together smoothly and successfully. Do talk to one another. Make sure that you give each other the opportunity to talk to one another regarding the issues that you have in your relationship, including the reason why you broke up, and what solution you think may be best for your relationship so you can get back together. Talking is really one of the more important things that you need to do, since this is one of the ways that you can really fix the problems in your relationship. Don't use mind games to get back together. Using mind games to get your ex to want to get back together with you is never a good idea, as this can only lead to more problems. For example, making your ex jealous by dating another person just to get her to want to get back together with you never works, as this will only push your ex to want to get even and date someone else just to spite you. And the next thing you know, you both are already trying to get even with one another. Avoid the mind games and just tackle the issues that you have directly and properly. Don't be too pushy and possessive. Being too pushy and possessive with your ex will only irritate your ex and destroy your chances with her, so make sure that you avoid acting like that. Allow your ex to make the choice to want to get back together on her own volition without any interference on your part, as well as give your ex enough space to freely weigh out her options. Remember, you are already broken up, so the rules that apply to couples don't necessarily apply to you anymore. Do approach the process with sincerity. Make sure that you are sincere in your choice to want to get back together with your ex, especially since it isn't just your feelings that are involved in your choice, but your ex's as well. You don't want to get back together with your ex only to break up once again later on, since you realise that you don't really want to be in the relationship. This will only hurt your ex even more. Chapter 4. Getting back with an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. Getting back together with your ex can be a daunting task, especially if your breakup was not a pleasant one. There are a couple of things that you really need to consider before making the move to get back together with an ex, especially if you want to make sure that there won't be any problems later on. Nobody wants to get back together with an ex only to break up with them again later on. Here are a couple of things that you need to think about, just to ensure that you are really making the right choice in getting back together with your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. What is the reason for the breakup? The very first thing that you need to think about is the reason for your breakup. Ask yourself that question and try to see what your answer will be. Keep in mind that your initial answer and reaction to this question would really be one that will favour you or put you in a good light. You may say that it was your ex's fault, or that you may admit that it was yours, but you had a reason for doing it. Your answer can really give you a lot of insight about your next move, whether you would get back together with your ex or not. If you feel angry, or if you blame your ex for the breakup, then getting back together with your ex may not be such a good idea as of the moment. Accept the breakup. Once you have determined the reason for the breakup, you now need to really come into terms with that fact. You can't expect yourself to move on if you still haven't accepted the fact that you and your ex are not together anymore. Doing this will really help prevent you from making some wrong choices about how to handle the entire process of getting back together with your ex, such as being jealous whenever you see your ex out with another person, or by rushing your ex into agreeing with you on the whole getting back together thing. Accepting the breakup means that you accept the fact that you and your ex are no longer a couple, but two separate individuals, and regular rules regarding couples no longer applies to both of you. What's the reason for getting back together? Once you have come to peace with your breakup, you now need to determine why you want to get back together with your ex. Ask yourself that question and check what your answer is. If you find out that you only want to get back together with your ex because you don't want to see your ex out with another date, then getting back together may not be the best possible solution for you. Just make sure that wherever your reason is for getting back together, you should have thought about it long and hard, and make sure that you include not only your feelings, but the feelings of your ex as well in your choice and thoughts. Doing this will help you avoid hurting any more feelings later on, whether it will be your ex's or your own. Talk to your ex. Talking to your ex is the most important step that you need to make before you can really get back together with him or her. Doing this can really open up a lot of topics for you to discuss, some of which may refer to some bad things about your relationship, while others may refer to some of the best things. Be open during your discussions and make sure that you allow each other to air out your opinions and perspectives on the matter. This can really be the determining factor if whether you guys would get back together or not. Chapter 5. Getting back with an ex-wife or husband. Your marriage may have hit some rough patches, and now you and your partner are not together anymore. But you soon realise that breaking up with your ex-wife or ex-husband was the wrong thing for you to do. This can be a very big dilemma, especially for somebody who does not know if there is a way that he can reverse this situation. Fortunately for you, there are a couple of things that you can check to determine if getting back together with your ex is really plausible. Here are a couple of things that you should think about when trying to figure out how you can get back together with your ex, and if you want to get back together. Carefully checking these things can help draw out your solution for you. Why did you break up? The most important step that you should take first is determine what was the cause for the failure of your marriage. If the reason for your breakup was something trivial or something that can be easily fixed by just taking the time to sit down and discuss the problem and solution, then getting back together with your ex shouldn't be an issue. However, if the cause for your breakup is one that is irreversible, then getting back together may not be the best solution for you, as of right now. Why do you want to get back together? Ask yourself the question why you want to get back together with your ex, and determine if the reason for your action is beneficial to your relationship or not. If your reason for getting back together can really put your ex or your family into harm's way, then getting back together may not be such a good idea. Consider your children. If you and your ex have kids, then it may be important to consider them into your choice to whether to get back together with your ex or not. Keep in mind that since you now have a family, your choice will not only affect your life, but their lives as well. Communication is important. One of the more important things to do is to make sure that you and your ex can communicate properly. Give the time to sit down and talk to one another about all the issues and possible solutions that you both need to take in order to make sure that you can get back together without any problems. Talking about these things can really help both of you make a determination as to whether getting back together would be the best for your family or not. Getting back together with an ex-wife or husband can be a bit complicated. However, it isn't that challenging to manage, especially if you know exactly what to look for and what to take note of. Keep in mind that this can be one of the more important choices that you may need to make in your relationship, so do take the time to think about everything that can affect your choice and your relationship. Chapter 6. Hints that your ex doesn't want you back. Are you interested in getting back together with your ex, but you get that feeling that your ex seems to not want the same thing, and you don't know exactly how to tell if that is in fact what your ex is feeling or not? If your answer to this question is yes, then you don't need to worry, since there are ways that you can really tell if your ex doesn't want to get back together with you. Just follow these hints, and you should be able to make a determination for yourself. Avoid conversations about your past. Whenever your ex tries to change the topic when you're talking about your past relationship, or if he bluntly tells you to not talk about it, then it's a good chance that your ex may be uncomfortable with talking about your past, partly because he could be uninterested in stirring up old memories about it, or that he just doesn't have any wish to get back together with you. If your ex appears standoffish, then don't push the topic with him, as this will only irritate him. You could most likely hold the conversations of your past for some other time. Avoid time together. Although most people would like to remain friends with their exes, this isn't always possible. Some people are really not comfortable in continually hanging out with their exes, whether it is just a friendly date or a group get-together. If your ex declines on your request to spend some time together, this could be an indication that your ex may be trying to create some distance from you, more so if your breakup was just a bit recent. Don't feel too depressed though, as this may also work to your advantage, especially if your ex realizes that he misses having you in his life. Just try not to become too pushy with your invites though, as this can get irritating fast. Happily dating with other people. If your ex appears to be happy in dating with other people, then that could be a clear indicator that your ex is trying to get over you. If that is the case, then it means that your ex may not have any interest in getting back together with you and is more focused on moving. When an ex starts to date other people, this could be an attempt to start new relationships, which means that your past relationship is now at the back of his mind. Don't fret, however, as this should also be an indication for you to move on yourself and start a new relationship as well. Disinterest in your social life. Usually when a person is interested in getting back together with their exes, they usually try to get some information about their social life, such as who they are dating, or how they are doing socially, or where they usually go now that they are broken up. If your ex is not interested in acquiring these types of information, then that could mean that they are not interested in your dating life. Showing disinterest in this aspect of your life indicates that there is little chance that they would want to continue and pursue rekindling your lost relationship. Determining if your ex doesn't want to get back together with you is never a pleasant experience, but is sometimes a necessity to help you figure out if you should continue and try to get back together with your ex, or start a new relationship with another person. Chapter 7. Deciding whether to get back together or not. Have you ever broken up with an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend and have the emotional urge to get back together with them, but remain unsure if you should do it or just move on from your failed relationship? Well, you don't need to think about it too much, as there are ways that you can really tell if you should or shouldn't get back together with your ex. This article offers you some hints on how to tell when you should or shouldn't get back together with your ex, so you can steer clear of making any wrong choices. Ex is too jealous. If your ex still goes on a jealous rage whenever he would see you out on a date with another person, then that can be an indication that you should most likely not get back together with your ex. This can show that your ex is not able to give you the distance and some time off of your relationship that you need. If your ex is not able to at least accept the fact that you both are broken up, then getting back together with him could pose some problems for you later on. Remember, a possessive ex won't be a better boyfriend or girlfriend when you get back together. In fact, he or she could be worse. No communication. Before you can hope to successfully get back together with an ex, a substantial amount of talking between you both is needed, because without it, your getting back together process can be a messy one. Communicating with one another means that you both will have an opportunity to talk about everything that you need to discuss to one another in order to help arrive at a solution for your breakup, whether it is to get back together or to just call it quits and move on. Don't know why you want to get back together? If you don't have any concrete reason as to why you want to get back together with your ex, then you most likely shouldn't. Don't get back together with your ex just because you feel sorry for him, or if you just feel lonely. You must have a good reason to want to get back together with your ex. Keep in mind that this entire thing involves not just your own feelings, but it involves your ex's as well, so you need to exercise care and discretion. As soon as you have a good reason to want to get back together, then that is the time that you should do so. Move on if your ex has moved on. If your ex has already made peace with your breakup and has already started dating other people, and possibly is already in a steady and serious relationship, then you most likely should try and think about moving on from your relationship as well. It is never a good idea to go after your ex, especially if it means breaking up their relationship with another person. You had your chance with him, and now that your relationship has ended, your opportunity has already passed. Allow your ex to find happiness with someone else, and you should do so with yourself as well. These hints will help you make the choice as to whether to get back together with your ex or not. Chapter 8. How to get your ex back after a big breakup. Most, if not all, relationships have experienced a breakup at least once. Fortunately for you, most of the time, these breakups still end up with both exes getting back together. Although there is a high percentage of relationships getting back together after a breakup, it still isn't a guarantee that you and your ex will get back after your breakup. You need to take note of a few things in order to guide yourselves back into a couple status. Here are a few helpful tips on how you can manage getting back together with your ex. Accept the fact that you're broken up. Before you can begin getting back together with your ex, you must first accept the fact that you and your ex are broken up, which means that you are not together anymore. This may prove challenging, especially if you are not willing to end the relationship in the first place. However, if you do not come into terms with this fact, then your actions in getting back together with your ex may be affected. You may continue to expect certain things from her, as well as continue to act a certain way towards her that may appear invasive to your ex, especially since in her eyes, you both are already not together anymore. Know why you broke up. Once you have come into terms with your breakup, it is time that you understand why you broke up in the first place. Understanding the reason for the breakup can really give you an insight on how you should proceed in winning your ex back. If your issue is that you are too possessive, then you should learn by now that acting that way won't get her back. Learn from your breakup and try to use that knowledge in getting back together with your ex. Sincerity is your greatest weapon. No amount of sugarcoating or brown-nosing will urge your ex to get back together with you if you're insincere with your actions. Make sure that you are getting back together with your ex for the right reasons. This will be evident on how you handle your getting back together process. If the reason for the breakup was due to your fault, then apologize for it. If you are really intent in getting back together with your ex, then you should have no problems humbling yourself and swallowing your pride to do so. Give it some time. It takes time for all wounds to heal. And when it comes to emotional wounds, it may take longer. Just bear in mind that you need to give your relationship time to heal and recover from the breakup before you can really go at it again and start over. You don't want to go into the relationship prematurely, expecting it to work instantly. Since you are both coming from a failed relationship previously, your new relationship once you get back together will be even more complicated and requires more work from both sides, which is why it is advisable that you give your relationship time to recover and heal before pushing through with getting back together. Breaking up and getting back together doesn't have to be challenging, but it is by no means easy as well. So make sure that you educate yourself to better prepare for the possible events that may unfold when you try to get back together with your ex, especially after a breakup. Chapter 9. Ex-husbands in particular. Getting back together with your ex-husband is really not that complicated and challenging to achieve. However, if you are one that has no idea as to how to accomplish this, then you may find it a bit more challenging. If you are intent on succeeding in getting your ex-husband back, then you should learn about some of the different tips that you can use to get him back into your life and back into your family. Here are a couple of things that you can really employ to ensure success in your attempts to get back together with your ex-husband. Cook for him. One of the main things that a man loves about his woman is her ability to take care of him and cook for him. Ask your ex-husband to dinner and offer to cook for him. By cooking for him, you can really remind him of how things would be with you and how you are able to take care of him. Men love this idea, and your ex-husband would be surely thinking about you and your cooking after your date is over. Increase his confidence. When a married couple breaks up, it can devastate both parties. After your breakup, your ex-husband may feel a bit down on himself and may really lose his confidence in himself, that he may shy away from any opportunity that you guys can really work things out and get back together. One thing that you can really do to win your husband back is by helping him better his confidence in himself. You can really do this by letting him feel that you feel more secure with him by your side. Show him that you are able to accomplish more and that you feel more confident as well, just as long as he stands by you. However, try to avoid appearing too needy, as this can only result in irritating your ex-husband. Attract him once again. You can really exploit the things that you know he likes about you, and use that to draw him into you once again. If he likes it when you wear your hair down, and if he thinks you look great when you wear that pink blouse that he bought you, then wear it. Getting him to see you the way he did when he fell in love with you before is a good way to get him to consider and want to get back together with you once again. Attracting him to you is but a minor step, but is an important one still. How will you get your husband to think twice about not getting back together with you if you look like a mess? Talk to him. Although talking with your ex-husband about your relationship sounds like something that he wouldn't be interested in, you would be surprised as to how much he wants to talk and how much he would like to talk to you about. Just make sure to discuss things slowly and avoid any confrontations, as this will only make things worse. Just bear in mind that if your ex-husband truly wants to get back together with you, then you wouldn't need to employ a lot of tricks to get him to want to get back together with you. But if you are unsure as to whether he would like to, then you can really do these simple tips and determine for yourself if he wants to or not. Chapter 10. How to make your ex want you. Breaking up with an ex is never a good thing. Fortunately for you, there are ways that you can get your ex to want you back in her life, especially if you believe that your breakup was the wrong choice for both of you to make. You don't need to live a life of regret, more so if there is a way that you can correct that wrong choice of yours. Here are some of the things that you can really do if you want to get your ex back into wanting you. Look amazing. Make sure that you take the time to make some betterments in the way you look. One sure way that you can get your ex to want you back is to just try and make your look better than the way that you regularly look. This will make you aesthetically appealing to your ex and will help increase your chances of your ex wanting you back, Nobody wants to be with someone who doesn't know how to care of themselves, for this is an indication of how that person will take care of them in return. Stay positive. One way that you can better your appeal to your ex and get her to want you back is to just keep a positive outlook. If you keep a positive attitude, this will really reflect on how you carry yourself, and in turn will reflect on how you will take care and interact with others. The more positive you are, the more positive the people's reaction would be towards you, hence improving your chances of getting your ex to want you back. Use your history. Being together in a relationship before does pose a lot of advantages for you, so make sure that you use that. You will have some information of what your ex may like, such as what type of guy she is attracted to, or what her favourite colour is, or what her favourite food is. This information will help give you the edge since you already know what she likes, so make sure that you use these to get her to notice you and feel that lost attraction for you once again. Be a reminder of the good times. In your past relationship, there must be an aspect of it that your ex truly loves. It could be a particular event, or even a trait that you may have that she just finds irresistible or appealing. Try to replicate that, or emulate that in a way that it can help remind her of how happy you were and what she used to like about you. This will also show her that you care about what she thought and that you value her opinion, as evidenced by your attempts to remind her of your past. These are just some of the ways that you can use to help make your ex want you back. Just make sure to add your personal flair to make your attempts more authentic and more personal. Chapter 11. Ex-boyfriends in particular. Have you ever broken up with a boyfriend and realised that it was a mistake, or that you really didn't want to break up with him? If you have, then you know that getting back together with an ex-boyfriend is no easy matter, but it shouldn't be hard either. Breakups in relationship can be a pretty common thing, but if you do not know how to get your ex-boyfriend back, then you may risk losing him forever, especially if you realise later on that breaking up with him is the last thing that you wanted to do. Fortunately for you, there are a couple of tips that you can use to help guide you in getting your ex-boyfriend back into your loving arms. Feed him well. Have you heard of the saying, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach? Well, this really holds true to most men. When a woman cooks and feeds his man, the guy will really associate this trait to that of a wife, which signifies that any woman who can cook and feed his man can be a good wife someday, since she is able to take care of him in this way. Learn to cook for your ex, preferably one of his favourite dishes, and he will realise the possible future that he could have with you if ever you do get back together. Support him. Any man only wants a few things from his girlfriend, and one of those things is her support. If you are able to show to your boyfriend that you can offer him the support that he needs through anything that he may experience in his life, then there is a good chance that he will get back together with you. Getting your unconditional support will provide him with a feeling of security, since he knows that you will be behind him on his choices. Role reversal. Although it is customary for the men in our society to be the one to court and woo the woman, doing a little role reversal can really have a big impact on your ex. By wooing him instead, you are showing him that you are willing to go beyond what is expected of you just to get him back into your life. Keep in mind that though men are known to be relatively tough, we also don't mind the occasional wooing. Ask him to take you back. Hearing a woman say that she wants a guy back is like kryptonite to most men. Most men can't handle to see a girl in pain, especially one that is asking to get back together with him. Learn to ask your ex-boyfriend to get back together with you, but try not to sound or appear too needy. A guy wants a girl to want him, but not to the extent that she appears to be desperate or needy. By just following these simple tips, you should be on your way to getting your man back into your life. Chapter 12. Signs that your ex-girlfriend wants you back. Over 90% of all broken-up relationships result with a couple getting back together. But, though such is the case, how can you really tell if your girlfriend is really interested in getting back together with you, or if she belongs to the remaining 10% that is contented with the breakup? If you are a guy struggling with this question, you don't have to frustrate yourself any longer, for there are ways wherein you can really determine if your girlfriend wants to get back together with you or not. Here are a couple of things that can help you make that determination. Stay in contact. If an ex-girlfriend stays in constant communication with you, there is a big possibility that she is still hoping to get back together with you. Keep in mind that no one wants to stay close and connected to their exes, not unless they are still hoping for some rekindling of lost romance. Your ex may try to accomplish this by constantly trying to get some information about your daily routine, such as what your plans are for the day, or where you will be at a particular time, and who you will be hanging out with. These tidbits of information will really help her keep in contact with you, and is a clear indication that she still wants to be a part of your life, even if you are broken up as of the moment. Friendly dates. Going out with your ex-girlfriend, even if the invite is just for a friendly date, is also another indicator that your girlfriend may be trying to reconnect or re-establish a relationship with you once again. These friendly dates may appear harmless, especially if you are not suspecting a thing, but they can be a great way to get to reconnect with someone on a more romantic level. It is usually in these dates that you and your ex will get to talk about a lot of things about your relationship, including all the things that were and could have been. If your ex-girlfriend occasionally invites you out for a friendly get-together, chances are she may be interested in getting back together with you. Relationship conversations. Another way to tell if your ex-girlfriend wants to get together with you is if she often talks about your relationship with you. More importantly, the parts that you guys could have had if you didn't break up, or the parts that she especially loves and can't seem to forget. These topics are sure signs that your ex-girlfriend is still thinking about you and your relationship, and are merely looking for signs or clues as to whether you would like to get back together with her as well or not. Remember, in getting back together with an ex, neither party wants to instantly say that he or she wants the other to get back together with them, since this may give them the appearance of being too needy or pushy, which is why your ex-girlfriend may be using these conversations to stir up some reactions from you that can help her determine if you are interested or not. Jealousy. If your ex-girlfriend becomes jealous when she sees you with another woman, then that is a clear indicator that she is still harbouring romantic feelings for you. However, you should exercise extreme caution when using this test to check if your girlfriend is still interested in getting back together with you, since this can also backfire on you, especially if your girlfriend feels offended and hurt. Using this can really drive your ex into the arms of another man, which is something that you don't want. There is still no substitute for a good talk with your ex and discuss your relationship with her, but if talking to her is still not an option as of the moment, then you can really use these small hints to determine if she indeed wants to get back together with you or not. Chapter 13. Making a smooth transition. Moving on from a breakup to getting back together with an ex is by no means an easy thing to accomplish, but hopefully, with some helpful tips, you should be able to do so with relatively less problems and with more ease. Although not a lot of people focus too much on the transitioning process from a breakup to getting back together, it is still an important part of the entire getting back together process. If you want to successfully get back together with your ex, you need to know how to transition well in order to avoid any problems that may arise later on. Here are a few things that may help you transition smoothly from a breakup to getting back together. Acknowledge the breakup. Acknowledging that you and your ex are already broken up will make your transition a whole lot easier, since this will make you understand that you are really not together anymore, which is why you need to come to a solution with your ex. And if you are able to fix the problem, then you can pursue to get back together with your ex. It is in this process that you will understand why you broke up with your ex, which in turn will help you figure out how to get to a solution for your breakup. Forgive and forget. if you hope to be able to successfully move on from a breakup to getting back together. You and your ex need to learn how to forgive each other for your faults and shortcomings in your past relationship. And forget that part of your past, so you can begin rebuilding your relationship and start anew. Getting back together without ironing out this part in your past will only result in another failed relationship later on, since unresolved issues such as this will only resurface in your future relationship later on. Create a solution. After talking to each other regarding issues in your relationship that needs resolving, you need to both come up with a solution for you to be able to move on to your new relationship, whether it is by coming up with a compromise between you and your ex, or by changing some aspects in your relationship. It can vary depending on every relationship, as well as on the factors that caused the relationship to fail previously. Start over. Once you and your ex have agreed on a solution, it is very important to remember that you are starting anew, which means that although you both were in a relationship before, it doesn't mean that you can bypass the getting back together process and just be a couple instantly. Since your previous relationship has failed, it is safe to say that starting anew is the best thing for you and your ex to do. So take the time to get to know each other once again, just to start things off. There are no shortcuts in getting back together, but if you are sincere in making a previously failed relationship work this time around, then you should seriously consider taking your time in making it work, and hopefully transition better, from being broken up to being back together. Chapter 14. Most effective ways to get your ex back. Getting back together with your ex can prove to be a challenging task, especially if you are not privy to a few tips and hints that can help you make the best choices possible. Fortunately for you, this article offers you some of these tips, and hopefully you will be guided to making the right choices. Here are a few things that you can use so you can effectively get back together with your ex. Determine cause. Before you can even try to begin getting back together with your ex, you need to first determine the cause of your breakup, as this will help give you some clues on how you should go about the entire getting back together process. Knowing what caused your relationship to not work, and try and figure out what went wrong, and how you can avoid doing them again. Doing so will give you a good head start on getting back together with your ex. Accept faults. Once you have determined what caused your relationship to not work, you need to learn how to accept faults that you may have done to cause the breakup, as well as accept and forgive whatever faults your ex may have done on their end. This will really help you come into terms with your breakup, as well as prepare you to talk to your ex and try and work things out with them. Talk to your ex. Talking with your ex is also another very important process that you need to give time to doing if you want to be effective in getting back together. This will really offer both of you an opportunity to try and discuss some things about your past relationship, both the good and the not so good, and offer one another some form of closure and solution. Take this opportunity to express all that you want to say to your ex, especially the things that you were not able to discuss prior. Compromise. Learn to compromise with your ex. People sometimes have the misconception that compromising means that you sacrifice some things about yourself to keep another person happy, which in this case would be your ex. However, compromise in this aspect means that you both find a common ground wherein you both can agree on and hopefully build your relationship there. The point of this is that you both keep each other happy by compromising and not just bring joy to one party in the relationship. Create a solution. Once you have discussed with your ex what you both need to do in order to make the relationship work, then you should have already reached a solution, and what is needed is to just try and follow through on that solution. Your solution should be something that both of you can work with, and should offer both of you something that will help make the relationship better than what it was before, such as changes that need to be done. Although there are no surefire ways to really get your ex to get back together with you, but using these hints can really help better your chances of succeeding in doing so. Chapter 15. Reasons to stay apart. You may find yourself with a strong emotional urge to want to get back together with your ex after your breakup, but sometimes getting back together with your ex is not the best thing for you to do. There would be a couple of things that you need to assess with your previous relationship, as well as assess within yourself, to be able to determine what your best move is. Whether it is to get back together with your ex, or to just move on to a new relationship with someone else. Here are a couple of things that you can use to help you make that choice. You feel uncertain. When you feel unsure on your choice to get back together with your ex, or if you have a lot of doubt in your mind, then it is better if you do not push through with it for the meantime. Making a choice to get back together with an ex requires a lot of commitment and care, especially since you are dealing with your ex's feelings aside from your own, which is why you need to make sure that your heart is really in it. Don't get back together with your ex if you don't really want to do it, as this will only result in another breakup. A lot of unresolved issues. If you and your ex still have a lot of unresolved issues, then it is most likely better if you opt to fix those issues first, before making any plans of getting back together, as this will help iron out some things in your relationship that may have caused it to fail in the first place. The main issue that you need to try and fix is the main cause for your breakup. Once you get that out of the way, you can really begin to try and rekindle the spark in your relationship already, as well as try to fix other issues that may have contributed to your conflict. Your ex doesn't want it. If your ex doesn't want to get back together with you, then you shouldn't force him to. That should be a clear sign for you to start moving on from your relationship, and most likely start a new relationship with somebody else. Just remember to give yourself time to move on from your previous relationship first before starting a new one, just to make sure that you are already over it and avoid any problems with your new one. Your ex has moved on. Once you see your ex in a new relationship with somebody else, that is an indication that your ex is most likely moving on from your relationship already. In this period in your breakup, it isn't advisable to try and get back together with him, because you may really cause some problems with your ex's new relationship. What's more is you may destroy your ex's chance to get over your breakup. Allow your ex to be happy with someone else, since you already had your chance to make things work, and it didn't necessarily end well. Also, you had opportunities to get back together with him, but now that your ex is with someone else, then that opportunity has already passed you. Chapter 16. Ex-wives in particular. Breaking up a marriage can be a very challenging process for both you and your wife, more so if there are children involved. Getting back together with your ex-wife is not easier either, especially if your breakup was a messy one. Fortunately for you, there are a couple of things that you can employ in order for you to get your ex-wife back into your life and into your family once again. You don't need to live with your choice to break up your marriage, more than ever if you realise that breaking up was the wrong choice to make, and that you both should be together still. Here are a couple of things that you can do to win back the heart of your ex-wife. Look better. A lot of husbands have the tendency to not care about their physical appearance once they have settled down and got married. One way that you can really get your ex-wife back is by taking the time to fix yourself physically, which means that you need to get yourself into good shape, wear nice clothes, preferably ones that your ex-wife would like to see you in, and clean up yourself. Doing this will not only boost up your confidence, but will also remind her that you are like a diamond in the rough. All you need is a little spit and shine, and you can shine like a star. Bear in mind that putting up a good appearance for your ex tells her that you care enough about what she thinks about how you look, reminding her that her opinions matter to you. Remind her. One way that you can get your ex-wife to want to get back together with you is to remind her of the man that she fell in love with in you. If it has something to do with the way you handle children, then remind her by taking her out on a date and bringing her to an orphanage, and show her how you handle your kids. These small cues can really help her remember the good things about you and your relationship, and she may consider getting back together with you. Surprise her. One way to properly surprise your ex-wife is by catching her off guard, or when she least expects it. You can really accomplish this by doing something unexpected, at least one that she least expects from you. If you rarely cooked for her before, try asking her out on a date and cook for her. This can really show her that you are willing to do things that you don't regularly do, just so you can win her back. This implies the willingness to change as well, and can give a great impression on her. You can really top this off by promising her that this can be a regular thing, just as long as you mean what you say. Promise her. One of the best things that you can do to better your chances of getting back together with your ex-wife is by promising her a better future with you. You should, however, do your part and try to do the needed changes in your relationship so you can really accomplish your promise and give her a new and better relationship with you as compared to the one previously. The main thing to remember here, though, is that you need to be sincere in your attempts to win her back. You won't be able to get back together with your ex-wife if you're not sincere in getting her back, so make sure that you really want her back if you really want to get back together with her. Chapter 17. Ex-girlfriends in particular. Going through a breakup with a girlfriend is never a pleasant experience for any guy. It can leave you scarred for a long period of time, or worse, it can destroy whatever relationship you may have left with your ex-girlfriend, just because your breakup was a bad one. Though such may be the case, fortunately for you, there is still a way that you can still rekindle your relationship with your ex, by just following a few simple steps. Now, getting back together with someone is no rocket science, in a sense that you don't need specific instructions on how to go about doing it. Keep in mind that every person, every relationship, is unique and different, and therefore requires your personal touch on each and every one of them. These steps are just here to guide you on how to go about with the act. Make her feel wanted. One surefire way that you can get your girlfriend to get back together with you is to make her feel wanted. There are a lot of ways that you can accomplish this, such as improving your sweet acts by giving her more flowers, even on days that isn't your anniversary or her birthday, or by just remembering that the main purpose for this is to just remind her that you want her to be your girlfriend. Some of these acts may seem cheesy for you, or sometimes even for her, but these things do work. Girls always have a soft spot for sweetness. Ask for forgiveness. One of the more challenging things that most people do encounter is when they are supposed to ask for forgiveness. If in your case, the fault was indeed yours, then do not hesitate to ask for your girlfriend's forgiveness. This act will show her that you are intent on changing your wrongful ways just to keep her in your life, and thereby giving her something to look forward to once she decides to get back together with you. Offer her positive change. One thing that can truly get a girl to say yes and get back together with you is if you can promise her that good or positive change in your relationship will happen in the future, such as fixing the problems that your relationship was experiencing before. No girl can resist saying yes to an opportunity to change her man for the better, even if it means taking another crack in your relationship. Listen a lot. You'd be surprised as to what this simple act can do to help better your chances of getting back together with your ex. Talking can help open your communication with one another, and ultimately guide you in understanding one another better. Learn to talk about everything: what caused your breakup, how it happened, what is your perspective on the matter, as well as hers. For doing so will help give you both closure and an agreement on how things should proceed from now on. Getting back with a girlfriend can be an easy thing to accomplish, just as long as you know what to look for. Hopefully these little insights will help you achieve just that. Chapter 18. Tricks that don't work. Almost every person who has been in a relationship knows that it takes a few things to get somebody who broke up with you to want to get back together again. People can use a number of tricks and techniques to get their ex back into their life and back in a relationship. However, not all of these tricks work, and sometimes can really cause you to destroy your chances of getting back together. Here are a couple of these tricks that you should try to avoid in order to successfully get back together with your ex. Don't be too eager. Showing your ex that you are very eager to get back together can be an indication that you are becoming more desperate in your actions, and is a good repellent for a lot of exes. If you don't want to push your ex away, avoid being too eager to get back together by throwing yourself at him, or by just trying to please him too much to the point that you are willing to do everything that your ex will ask of you, regardless if it's against your better judgment or not. Don't be too friendly. Being too friendly with an ex can be a problem, especially since you will always be harbouring romantic feelings for your ex. By being too friendly with your ex will only expose you to some unwanted situations that you may not want to deal with while both of you are broken up. Keep in mind that regular rules that apply to couples don't apply to you anymore, so you may be caught in awkward moments that can lead you to do some ill-advised actions, such as acting like a jerk towards your ex's suitors. This will only put you in a bad light with your ex and may really destroy your chances to get back together. Don't use jealousy as a means. Forcing your ex to get jealous by dating another man or woman will not make your ex want to get back together with you, but rather, it can drive your ex away from you and into the arms of another. Always remember that this trick rarely works, and even if you did succeed in making your ex jealous, there is a higher probability that your ex will try to retaliate by making you jealous instead of just succumbing to your ploy and get back together with you. If that happens, then you would be caught just trying to outdo each other, and this never ends happily. Don't force your ex. Pushing your ex to want to get back together with you poses a lot of problems for you. For one, your ex will definitely feel annoyed and irritated if you try to force him into getting back together with you. If your ex feels that way, then you can kiss your chances of rekindling goodbye. Another problem would be that even if your ex does get pushed to agreeing to get back together with you, he will not stay in your relationship for very long, since it wasn't really a choice that he made for himself. You want your ex to truly want to get back together with you, and forcing him to do so is not the way to do it. Chapter 19. Why you should get back together. Are you having doubts as to whether you should try and get back together with your ex or not? You may be feeling unsure, because you don't know if doing just that is really the best choice for you to make. Fortunately for you, there are ways that you can use to make a choice on why you should get back together with your ex, and finally end your doubts about the entire thing. Here are a couple of things that may be helpful in answering your question as to why getting back together with your ex is a good idea. You want to. The first reason that should push you to want to get back together with your ex is the fact that you yourself want to get back together. If you are unwilling, or if you even have doubts about it, then getting back with your ex is most likely not the best thing for you to do. You will only end up breaking up once again. It is challenging to make a relationship work if you're not willing to make it work in the first place, so make sure that your heart is set on getting back together with your ex. Your ex wants to. If your ex is giving you signs that she wants to get back together, such as talking about your past relationship, or wanting to go on dates with you, still even after you've broken up, then that is an indication that your ex most likely still wants to get back together with you. Wanting to get back together relies not only on your choice, but also relies on your ex's, especially since it takes both of you to make the relationship work. If one party is not willing to get back together, then the entire process won't work. Willingness to resolve issues. Getting back together with your ex requires that both of you need to be willing to resolve whatever issues you have in your relationship that caused you to have problems and break up. If you and your ex are expressing that you are both willing to sit down and talk and try to fix your issues and come up with a solution for them, then that is a good indication that you may be able to successfully get back together. Willing to compromise. Once you have come up with a solution for your issues, you both need to know to learn how to compromise in order to resolve your issues and successfully get back together. Willingness to compromise should come from both of you. Doing this will ensure that you and your ex will have a smooth transition from a breakup to getting back together. Getting back together with your ex is a very important choice that you need to make, so you need to be able to make sure that deciding to get back together is the right choice for you to make. Hopefully, these hints will help you on just that.